So now the next thing we have to do with respect to our sets is to look at some operations with our sets, right? So we can add, we can update, we can remove, we can discard, we can pop, and we can clear. Yes, let's look at all of those in detail without wasting much time. Good. Now we need to create what we are going to be adding to. So let's just start working with some numbers. We create our brackets. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Let's keep it simple when we are starting. It's always good to keep it simple. Now we want to move ahead and then do the add. So this is how it's going to look like. We see nums dot add, and then we open our brackets, and then we can add whatever it is that we want to add. So the first number we want to add is 5. Now after this, I want to print for confirmation. You know how we do it over here. Let's just run. Good. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay, let me not confuse us. Either I add a 4 over here or I add a 5. Let's add a 4 over here. Let's run again. Good. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's how to use our add operation. We move on to our update. Now, if you really know something about programming in the whole, you would know there are a lot of similarities between update and add. But the simple difference is with update, we are adding multiple elements. So let's look at that in action. Sorry. So we see nums.update, and then so this is what we actually need to pull off an update. But with update, it's not just going to take the raw integers. We need to put it in a list. Update takes in a list. So then you just put in the list of whatever you want to add. So we got to 5 over here. Let's add 6, 7, 8. Okay. 6, 7, and 8. Mind you, Python runs from top to down. So this is actually going to happen, and then this will happen. Yeah. Again, let's confirm. We like to confirm over here. Let's print our arms, and then we'll run it. Good. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. Let's get rid of this and let's continue practicing. So next we have to look at remove, and then we'll look at discard. Now if you are seeing a pattern, you're probably right. You'll notice that these are actually in pairs. Add and update, I mean, kind of the same thing with a subtle difference. Remove and discard, kind of the same thing. With a subtle difference, we are going to look at soon. And pop and clear, kind of the same thing also with a subtle difference. So now let's go ahead and try to remove something. So we'll say nums. Let's actually make this pretty. Let's give some pretty around. Good. So we say nums.remove. Let's go for 2. Oh, even 3. Right? Doesn't really matter. As long as it's here, it does not matter. Let's just run it. Look at why. So yes, you see we have no errors. That worked. Now let's actually print and see what we have removed. So let's print nums. Good. We have 1, 2, 4. There is no more any 3. Right? Good. Now let's do something wonderful over here. Our list originally gets to 8. Now we remove. When you input something that does not exist in the list, you get an error. I'm going to run, and you can see we have an error here. So this is going to throw an error. You understand? That is where we want to use discard. So that's where the second part of our pair comes in, being this discard right over here. So I'm going to change from remove to discard, and you can see we won't have any errors. So I'm going to run. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And once again, let me just also take out our 3 again, and then we'll run. And we have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it really is about your preference. You have a choice to make on which of the pair to be using mostly, depending on the goal you want to achieve. So now let's look at the last pair, pop and then clear. First of all, let's look at how to pop a random element, right? Yeah, so pop has always been simple to use. We just see nums.pop, and then we are going to pop something like literally. and let's just copy this print over here. He said I shouldn't say print statement. Let's get rid of this and then run. Good. So you can see that our one was a sacrificial lamp over here. This is how to pop at random. Yes, let's look at clear. So nums.clear, we are clearing all of the elements. That's what clear does. So pop is just going to pop one thing either at random or whatever you specify, and then clear is going to get rid of everything. So by the time Python gets to the clear line, it's going to get rid of everything in our nums set. So I'm going to run, and you can see at the end of the day we have an empty set over here. Yeah, so those are the operations we have available to us in Python. I want to split these into two, because next up we are going to be looking at our unions, our intersection, and those kind of stuff. They can be quite challenging, especially if you have not revised in a while. So we are going to split this up. So next up we'll have the next part of operations on set.